What's up, you guys? It's Vincanity, and today I wanted to discuss a very important topic, and that is dancing for exposure and experience. Now, a while back I did a video touching on this topic, but I wanted to really dig deep and do a full explanation in this video for you guys. So to start off, we kind of have to differentiate dancing for exposure and experience or people taking advantage of you. In my personal opinion, when you're first starting out as a dancer thinking, maybe I want to do this professionally, maybe I want to be able to make money off this someday, but my skills aren't there yet. Maybe I could do some cool tricks, but my performance skills aren't there yet. In that case, I feel like it is probably very important for you personally to do some performances for experience and exposure, because you need to sharpen your skills before you could actually put yourself out there. But if you are already to a high level of dance and you are taking what you do seriously, you are doing this professionally pretty much, then someone asking you to do a performance for experience and exposure is kind of them trying to take advantage of you. Now, I know that sounds harsh, and I know not everybody asking is trying to deliberately take advantage of you. Some people are, raising money for a charity and they're just looking for performances, your friend's birthday party, etc., etc. There are a couple of cases when you can make exceptions, but the thing is, you have to know when to draw the line, and you have to think about this like any other profession. If you were a professional plumber and someone says, hey, come to my house and fix my plumbing for exposure, you probably would be like, no, this is my job, I'm doing work, you pay me for the work that I do, right? Simple as that, no question about it. If you were an accountant and someone's like, hey, do my taxes for exposure, you'd be like, nah, you pay me this amount and I'll do your taxes. I'm doing a service for you. But for some reason, when people ask someone to dance, do a performance, entertain their audience for experience and exposure, and they say, no, here's my price, all of a sudden people get offended and they're like, whoa, we're just trying to help somebody out, get some exposure and experience. But the reality of it is actually the other way around. You are asking an artist to do a service for free, and in most cases they get no benefit at all. And I think the idea of having artists do things for exposure and experience has been so ingrained into our society, to the point where people literally get offended that you're asking them to pay you to do a performance, a service, whatever you're doing. And most of the time they don't even realize how offensive that is. They just think, oh, they're a bunch of artists, they enjoy what they do, let's get them to enjoy what they do for us for free. And for me personally, this is something that I've been fighting against for over 10 plus years when I started dancing professionally, teaching professionally. When my crew and I were younger, we started advertising ourselves as professional performers, and we would go out almost every weekend and we would do performances, whether it's small time at someone's birthday party or something bigger like at a concert or festival. We were doing performances on the regular. And I want to say 9 out of 10 times when we got contacted, people would be surprised that we were asking for them to pay us. By surprised, I mean they were borderline offended that we were asking them to pay us to do a performance. And for us, it was like, what do you mean, you want us to do this for experience and exposure? We're a professional group. You wouldn't ask any professional to do what they do for free. Why would you ask us? And I think it just kind of goes back to this perceived notion that artists and dancers, they love what they're doing, so why should we pay them? So that notion has to change with us, and we could change that in 3 different ways. The first way is saying no. And by saying no, I don't mean go out and be rude to everybody, but you have to tell people, no, we will not do this for free, but we will charge this amount. All right, you have to redirect the question, and again, please don't be rude, because if we get this reputation for being rude, then most likely we won't get hired anymore. So make sure you approach this in a polite way, redirect the question, and leading me to the second thing, which is to educate, right? We have to educate people about what we do. We have to increase their value for what we do, to the time and effort that we put into our art form. We have to educate them so that they value it, right? Just like any salesperson will do. Like, why should I buy this computer over this computer that's more expensive, right? You know, well, this one has a lot more features to it, this one has more memory, it's faster, etc., etc. That's why we should buy this one, right, over this cheaper one. Same with what we do. We have to educate people on how much time, effort, and energy we put into our practice to be able to go out and do this performance. And at the same time, we have to recover. We have to get our bodies back to 100% so that we can do the next performance. So you have to educate people so that they will start to value what we do. And the more people that start to value what we do as artists, the less we will hear in the future. And the last thing that will help us is knowing how to sell what we do. A lot of times people will just put their work out there and expect people to want to buy it or hire them, etc. But you really have to be able to sell people. You have to explain to them, you know, what they're getting out of it. You know, is it going to be a 5-minute performance, a 10-minute performance? Why I should pay you for this 10-minute performance, and what is that money going to? A lot of times you're going to have 5+ dancers, so you got to be able to pay all those dancers. You could even make different tiers of performance. Maybe you could have them pay this amount for a choreographed 30-minute performance, this amount for a choreographed 15-minute performance, or this amount for just a quick freestyle. By creating these options to give to your potential clients, it kind of helps you weed out people that just want a free performance. And there's some people out there that are literally never gonna pay anybody for a performance, and those are people we just don't want to work with. So start off by working on your personal sales tactics so that you could kind of weed out the people that are just trying to get you to do stuff for exposure. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is value. And to me personally, value is just a perception. Take shoes, for example. Take a shoe from the mall, right? Most shoes at the mall nowadays are gonna be like $100 plus, right? It gets pretty expensive. But say there's this other shoe that's at Costco for $30, made at the same factory, looks exactly the same. This is just the generic version, right? Why is this one more, right? It's because of the marketing. People market it and it increases its value. You see famous people wearing it, and all of a sudden, man, I'll spend that $100 for that shoe over this $30 shoe. And that is why I say value is just a perception. And there was a situation when I was younger that irritates me to this day. And this was at a time when I was basically shopping around my teaching program to schools. And there was a specific program that approached me to teach for them for 3 hours, and they offered me $10 for it per hour. So that would be $30 that I would have made in that entire day, versus the other programs at the time were paying me $50 per hour. So my response to them was, no, sorry, I actually charge $50 per class, and if that's too much, I could just do 1 class instead of 3. So I've been teaching professionally for X amount of years, I've been performing for X amount of years. This is my teaching resume, this is my dance resume, and I presented myself in a very professional manner, even giving contacts to other people that I work for. And the response that I got from her was pretty offensive, and it went something like this: how could I pay you $50 per hour when I only make $30 per hour? How could I pay you $50 per hour and you don't have a master's degree, you don't have a PhD, you haven't written a thesis statement, you haven't done a PhD project? Why should I pay you more than $10 an hour? And this lady was almost stuck on the idea that as someone that has her master's would make less than me as a professional teaching artist. Her making $30 an hour for 8 hours versus me, you know, asking for $50 for just 1 hour. And she got very, very defensive. And it was almost just like she was stuck on the idea that, you know, I would get paid more per hour than she would. But in my head, I'm like, street dancing doesn't work like that. You could have a PhD in power moves and have the most terrible power moves in the world. You could have a PhD in breaking and be the worst dancer in the world. You could have a PhD in teaching and be the worst teacher in the world. Because in reality, the experience that you can deliver right here, right in front of people, that is your credential, right? The fact that you can get out there and dance and do a good job, that's your credential. The fact that you have the ability to teach a classroom and can show that, that's your credential. There's no certificate that tells people that you're good at what you do, except for your work. And so what it came down to is I was kind of like, well, for 10 bucks an hour, unfortunately, I can't do it. But I'd be happy to refer someone who is a student or an upcoming dancer that might be interested in doing this to get some experience. And her response was like, no, we want a professional that knows what they're doing, that has a vision. And in my head, I'm just like, well, good luck with that. And I kind of left it alone. It's just so irritating that people have that condescending like perception that us as artists are kind of like beneath them. And us as a community, we need to come together and kind of just put a stop to this. And again, like I mentioned earlier, we don't have to be rude about this. We don't have to be mean about this, but we have to educate and sell people on what we do. Because if we don't do those things, then this is going to constantly just happen to us left and right. The more professional we make ourselves appear, the more professional people will see us as. So next time someone asks you to do a performance for exposure, for experience, you know what to tell them. All right, I hope you guys found this video useful, and for more tutorials and more knowledge about hip hop, make sure you guys press subscribe, press like, and leave me a comment about what you guys want to see next. All right, thank you guys again. I'll talk to you guys soon.